Dear students, hello and welcome to all of you. How are you all? I hope you are just doing fantastic and keeping sound health. You all know that the online activities are going on in many platforms, and Chattogram Online School platform is one of them, which platform is one of the best platforms in Bangladesh. And you all know that on every Monday at 10:30 a.m. I take this English class, and today's class would be on historic 7th March speech of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Dear students, you all know that Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is our father of the nation, and he is also the architect of the independence of Bangladesh. We all know that. And I have already taken 2 classes on this speech, and I like to continue. I like to go through his lessons in 2 more classes also, and it would be enough for us. 2 more classes would be enough for us to end the lecture. Before going into the lecture, I like to remind you that you all know, probably I have mentioned it in my earlier classes also, and this speech is actually one of the motivational speeches in the world, and many critics, researchers believe that the historic 7th March speech of Bangabandhu is in fact one of the best speeches if we consider 10 best speeches in the world. And this speech was actually a very important speech in the history of Bangladesh. And Bangabandhu took 19 minutes, approximately 19 minutes to finish his speech. And in fact, these 19 minutes were very important time in our history. So let's start watching some slides, and we'll talk about Bangabandhu's speech, his style and approaches, and how he motivated, inspired the people to go for the fight and to start the liberation war in 1971. Let's start. So, dear students, you can see the first slide of our lecture, and the slide is of Chattogram Online School. I have already mentioned, and I am from Chattogram Online School. It's a very, very inspiring online platform for the students all over the country. And the next slide is about my identity. My identification slide is this. My name is Muhammad Imdadur Rahman, Assistant Professor and Head of English Department, Bangladesh Navy College, Chittagong. And today's topic, you all know that by this time, that Unit 1, Lesson number 1. The name of the unit is People and Institutions Making History. And the name of the lesson is Unforgettable History. So which one we are calling the unforgettable history? Definitely the historic 7th March speech of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is the unforgettable history. And this is my lecture number 4 with you, with the freshers. What would be the learning outcome? We will know about 7th March speech of Bangabandhu, answering reading comprehension questions, and how to write paragraph. We will also know about it. Gathering or collecting the information from this speech, we can arrange or rearrange a wonderful paragraph, taking the concepts from this speech. And of course, flowchart, we have already shown a flowchart in our previous lecture. I hope you have seen it in our later classes also. With another lesson, we will practice it. And these are the pictures. You have seen it already in our previous classes. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's individual style of giving or delivering the speech. Very confident and very inspiring in his outlook, in his approach, and a sea of people you can see how Bangabandhu is delivering his speech, standing just erect and very confident in his look, in his style. Just look at the finger position and hand position, absolutely perfect. And some other pictures of Bangabandhu also, family picture, and again the historic 7th-month speech which he delivered at Racecourse Maidan at that time. Now it's called Sarwati Udyan, you all know that. I like to recap the two sayings. The first one is Edward Heath's saying. Former British Foreign Minister was Edward Heath. He said that all the confined and suppressed people of the world will listen to the speech of Bangabandhu for attaining freedom. So this is a very clear-cut indication that how important, how significant the speech for the Bengali people, not only for the Bengali people, but also for the people all over the world who are suppressed and oppressed. Edward Heath said that all the people around the globe will seek inspiration for attaining freedom because there are some food for thought in this speech, and that food for thought is the independence. How he can motivate the people, how strong choice of diction, how he arranged his speech and how he delivered his speech, all the things combined, a complete package in the speech. And that's why it has been internationally recognized, and it has become an internationally recognized speech in the world. And the next thing is of Bangamata Begum Fazilatunisa Mujib's comment. Actually, she said that, think that behind you the Pakistani soldiers, in front of you the oppressed people, in the middle you are standing. Now you tell them what should be told by you. This is actually told in the morning on 7th March 1971. That was the Bangla remarks, a Bangla remark. I have translated it into English. What did she say? Bangamata Fazilatunisa Mujib said that, Bangamata Begum Fazilatunisa Mujib said that, when Bangabandhu asked her, what should I tell today? What should I tell today? Then she said, just think the situation that you are in the middle and in front of you so many people are very eager to listen from you about their future, about their next course of action, about independence probably, and behind you Pakistani soldiers are standing with their guns, and in the middle you are standing. Now, in that position, you just speak out what you should tell. You ask to your heart. If we analyze it in another way, we can say that you ask to your heart what should be told by you. What your heart says, you speak out. You say that. And Bangabandhu, of course, said tremendously and wonderfully about the independence of Bangladesh, about the necessity of the freedom of Bangladesh, and he also guided the people how they should approach. He mentioned all classes of people, all courses of action which should be taken by the people in different parts of the society, in different parts of the organogram. At that time, they were working somewhere in the government jobs, somewhere was some of them were working as journalists, and some of them were common people, and there are instructions about all classes of people in the speech. Let's move forward to the next slide. Words to be noted, these are the important words. We will read out today 2 paragraphs from Bangabandhu's speech. Wretched means miserable or grim, downtrodden, oppressed, subjugated. These are the wonderful words: downtrodden, subjugated or oppressed, prorogue, postpone, defer. Massacre means butcher, decimate and slaughter or slaughter. Assume means accept or shoulder. Before going into the assignments, I want to read out the 2 paragraphs for you and try to make you understand what were the concepts of that speech. Then we will go to the assignments. These will be the assignments for you, questions, and from those paragraphs I will read today, you will get the answer, and try to give the answer in the comment section. If you send it to me through the comment section of Chattogram Online School, I will be very delighted to check them out. So let's start. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman said that, I have met President Yahya Khan. I have made a request to him not only on behalf of Bengal but also as the leader of the party which has the majority in Pakistan. So Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is actually mentioning the background history, mentioning the background slots and plots, why this situation has arose. Why? What is the reason? The reason is that he tried his best. He tried his best to negotiate, to compromise, to make Yahya Khan and Mr. Bhutto understand about the situation, about the need of the constitution, and about the need of the National Assembly, commands of the National Assembly. But they somehow or other, they rejected. They did not listen to Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. That is what Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is saying, that he had met President Yahya Khan and made him request repeatedly as a leader of Awami League and as a victorious leader. Of course, victorious leader in the election of 1970. So he has a role to play in that situation. Bangabandhu had understood that, and he tried to do so to convince Yahya Khan. I said to him, you must hold the session of the National Assembly on 15th January. So look at the determination, look at the fixed attitude of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur. He is fixing the date. That 15th January is the date we want to sit in the National Assembly at that time, but he did not listen to me. But Yahya Khan didn't pay heed to it. He listened to Mr. Bhutto. Who was Mr. Bhutto? Mr. Bhutto was the Pakistan People's Party chairman at that time instead. So Yahya Khan listened to Mr. Bhutto, did not listen to Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. At first, he said that the meeting would take place in the first week of March. Yahya Khan is just killing his time, biting his time. Why? Because he also knew that, Yahya Khan also knew that it would not be possible to arrange National Assembly session because they have other plots at the back of their mind. They are plotting something cruel, something devastating at that time. That's why they are deferring the date. They are changing the date time and again. First week of March, we will try to arrange it. We said, fine, we will be taking our seats in the assembly. And Bangabandhu is very considerate, and when Yahya Khan said that first week of March would be the probable date, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman accepted and agreed. He said that, okay, we will do that. I said we will carry out a discussion in the assembly, and Bangabandhu correctly realized that assembly, National Assembly is the perfect place, right place to discuss all the issues, all the unsolved issues. I went so far as to say that if anyone came up with an offer that was just, that was legal, even though we were in the majority, we would agree to that offer. This is the most vital line of the speech. How considerate he is. How much importance Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is giving to the opposition party. Because after the 1970 election, Awami League was the majority party. They have the maximum seats at that time. But Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman said that though we are the majority, we are in power, we can do anything, whatever we like, but we will not do that. What we would do, we would also listen to the demands and listen to the necessity of the opposition party. If they can come out, if they come out to us with any suggestion, legal approach, if their approach is legal, we will gladly accept that. Though we are in the top seat, we are in the driving seat, we are actually capable of running the government. It means that Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is giving equal respect to the opposition party, because for any assembly, in the National Assembly, both the government party and the opposition party can play their role, and if they can play their role positively, it would be a wonderful place to discuss about so many things. So Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman put importance on discussion, constitution, time and again. So these are the key factors at that time. The next para and the last para for today's class. Mr. Bhutto came here, he carried out discussion with us. So Mr. Bhutto came to East Pakistan and started to discuss with the leaders at that time. He had said that the doors of negotiation had not been shut and that there would be further negotiations. Bhutto has also realized the importance of negotiations, but this realization is actually the false realization. He is actually pretending things, because in his heart, or in their heart, we can say that both Yahya Khan and Mr. Bhutto, they know that what they are planning, but actually they are not telling the real thing to the people of East Pakistan. They have kept them in some false belief. That's why he is saying that we believe in negotiation. Still there are possibility of negotiation. We can talk and discuss, but actually they are not discussing and solving the unsolved issues. I then had talks with other leaders. I said to them, come and sit down with us. Let's create a constitution for ourselves through discussion. So look at the dialogue of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Again, he has put emphasis on discussion and constitution. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman agreed when Mr. Bhutto came here. He also agreed that yes, there are still possibility of negotiation. We will discuss in the National Assembly and we will try to form a constitution for our country. This is our main job because people have voted us to do that. But Mr. Bhutto declared that if West Pakistani members came here, the assembly would end up in a slaughterhouse. So this is the most dangerous thing to tell. He is actually warning the members of parliament not to come here. Why? Because if they come here to East Pakistan in the National Assembly, they will be slaughtered and it would become a slaughterhouse. This is the most dangerous remark because it means that, or it shows that they do not like the people of East Pakistan. They consider that they are the slaughterers, they are the killers, they are the murderers. They can do anything if they come here. So it will not be wise for the West Pakistani MPs to come here and sit in the National Assembly. So look at the contradiction of both Mr. Bhutto and Mr. Yahya Khan. They are saying one thing, after some time they are changing their views and visions. Actually, they themselves know that this is not their main speech. This is not their main thinking. There are something behind their main or real thinking. They are plotting something else. And the next line is, he claimed that whoever came here would be slaughtered. Again, he has given the warning. He has given the alarm. What is the alarm? Alarm is that in spite of saying that if you come here, I can tell you that surely you will be murdered, you will be killed by these slaughterers. All these people in the East Pakistan are the slaughterers. So be careful of them. Don't come here. This is the straightforward warning. Look at the contradiction again. At the very first line of this para, he was putting importance on discussion, negotiation, etc. But later on, he has changed his position. I am talking about Mr. Bhutto. Mr. Bhutto has changed his position. And the final line for today's class is, he said that if anyone showed up here, all shops from Peshawar to Karachi would be shut down. In spite of that, if you think that you will come, we will go on strike. This is a kind of a strike because all shops from Peshawar to Karachi will be shut down. So this is a kind of threat, I can tell. So if you think that, some people will ask, some students will ask that, may ask that, why Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is presenting so many past incidents in his speech. This is because he wants to mold the people's mentality. He wants to shape up the people's mentality for a bigger challenge, for a bigger fight, for a bigger thought. These are the things. So he is actually preparing the people. This is a kind of preparation. If you think about your past, if you think about your past at the present time, you can also take decision about your future. So Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman very calculatively, I must say that this is a calculative approach of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman to inspire the people of Bengal at that time, to get them ready for fighting, a fierce fighting for the independence. That's why he is mentioning the past incident, background history, what Mr. Bhutto said, what Mr. Yahya Khan said, how did he approach those things before 7th March, after the 1970 election, what has happened, why didn't the National Assembly assemble. These are the things Bangabandhu quoted very briefly to make the people aware of the past situation. Actually, he is presenting the past situation to make them ready for the future assignment. That future assignment is fight for the freedom. So these two paragraphs will finish up here, end up here, and I hope you have understood, dear students. And if you understand these two paragraphs, I hope these three questions, what I am saying, what I was saying actually, these are the questions for you. The first question is, what did Bangabandhu tell to the countrymen after the session of assembly was prorogued? Very easy to answer. You will get it here. Try to answer it. What was the telling of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman after the assembly was dissolved or prorogued? That means when the assembly was not held or was not possible to hold, we can say. How did the people respond to Bangabandhu's call? This is a very important question. Very important question. How was the response of the people? Bangabandhu called them. How was the response of the people? Very friendly response, huge response, polite response, and they response cordially. Maybe this word is more perfect. Cordial response. The next question, third and last question, why did Bangabandhu put emphasis on discussion time and again? We have seen that Bangabandhu was putting emphasis on discussion time and again. Actually, discussion can solve any issues. Bangabandhu was trying to solve all the unsolved issues at that time with the Pakistanis, and he wanted to sit with Yahya Khan, actually sat also to discuss the issues for the National Assembly holding of National Assembly, and also to form the constitution. So discussion for solving some problems, for some unsolved issues. So these are the answers. Probably you will be able to answer all these questions. I am repeating it, that please give the answers in your comment box and I will try to check it out. So dear students, one more slide remains, that is, thanks for patience, your patience, because you are with me for a long time in this class and for being with me. Thanks again. Hope to meet you on next Monday at the same time on Chattogram Online School platform. Till then, take care of yourselves and take care of your family. Enjoy your time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.